welcome to the Narrowing Path, walking the spiritual walk. My name is Steve Van Ashton. Thank y'all for joining me again tonight for another reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. This will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning this will be the first time that I hear or read the meditation right on the podcast with y'all, so you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading. And this month has been very invigorating for me to actually follow along with these meditations, apply these meditations. It's been fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the 28th brings. Excuse me. And here we go. So this is July 28th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. Evil is an experience, not a power. What a statement. The painful experiences of evil pass away as the new experiences of good enter into and possess the field of consciousness. And what are the new experiences of good? They are many and beautiful, such as the joyful knowledge of freedom from sin, the absence of remorse, deliverance from all the torments of temptation, ineffable joy in conditions and circumstances which formerly caused deep affliction, imperviousness to hurt by the actions of others, great patience and sweetness of character, serenity of mind under all circumstances, emancipation from doubt, fear, and anxiety, freedom from all dislike, envy, and enmity. Evil is a state of ignorance, of undevelopment, and as such, it recedes and disappears before the light of knowledge. Well, you can't get any more of a reading of substance, power-packed meditation. This reading addresses and he undertakes the battle of good and evil, the idea and understanding of evil itself. Now, if that's not a juggernaut of a topic to take on, especially after everything we've already been reading along with for this month, I don't know what would be. But I have to say, for as massive and large of a topic as this is, and how much it's been built upon and construed, he does a pretty eloquent job of actually framing it in a simple one-page meditation. And the gifts of freeing yourself from that evil that he talks about are just it's the ideal life that everybody on earth, I would assume, wants and strives for and tries to obtain, right? So here we go. Let's go through this again. The opening line really was just such an attention getter for me. And I have to be honest, I believe I've read the book which this one's out of, but I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Byways of Blessedness. I can't recall. It was a long time ago, and I need to go find where this one's from because it seems as though I've got some more learning to do from it. to be honest with you. Um, so this is bringing back some old memories from when I read the book. This must have been taken from, but I can't recall which book or when or the context or what else came before or after it. But I remember him saying, evil is not a power. And it sent my head reeling, if I'm honest with you, because I always thought there was this force of evil in the world that I could succumb to. And there isn't. I don't think it's good and evil anymore. I think it's God and self. Not to say self is evil, but to say when we serve ourselves, we do sinful acts out of ignorance and not knowing and lack of awareness. And it might be lack of awareness and ignorance on a personal scale. It could be on not knowing that you're doing it, or relational scale, not understanding the impact that it has, or you might know you're doing it and understanding the impact that it has, but you don't know the impact it's having on the grand picture of your own life. You think serving yourself is our primary goal here. So lack of understanding and knowledge of that higher purpose that living a spiritual life calls us towards damages an individual. So this opening line: evil is an experience, not a power. Was really actually an important framing for me to look at things. Like, because it gave me an understanding. Like, because when things happen, they are experienced as evil. But evil does not come in and cause a thing to occur. At least I agree with what he's saying there. I do. And then we go into the main body of this. The painful experiences of evil pass away as the new experiences of good enter into and possess the field of consciousness. So, if evil can be eradicated by living differently, living spiritually, then is it really a power? Or is it a shadow cast by by the ignorance and pride of our own ego? It's an interesting question to entertain. But the painful experiences of evil pass away as the new experiences of good enter into and possess the field of consciousness. So as you start doing more good, and as you start to grow spiritually, the perspective and understanding of other people's actions that we might have perceived and experienced as evil beforehand changes as well. So not only do we change, but we have more compassion and understanding for others that are around us. So evil really does pass away as new experiences of good enter into and possess the field of consciousness, because you're given understanding, perspective, and compassion. It's pretty amazing when you think about it like that. And what are the new experiences of good? This is a great list. The rest of the reading is just a run-on list separated by semicolons. So it's pretty powerful just to list them like this. They are many and beautiful. That's a promise. They are many and beautiful. Remember that. When you say, why am I doing this? Because there are many good things and they are beautiful good things. Such as joyful knowledge of freedom from sin. Because we have understanding and we have a perspective and framing around those things. We understand what they serve and what they do for us now, and why we pursue them, and why we acted upon those character defects, those sins that they served us. The absence of remorse, because we grow in appreciation of our past, we grow in understanding and gratitude for what we've been through to get us right to where we are, so we can learn and grow in the life we've been given. And you get to go forward making decisions and living in a way where remorse is negated anyway. Remorse is non existent because of the way you live. How powerful is that? Remorse, the absence of remorse, something I thought I'd always have, but come to find out, those are things you can let go. What a blessing that is. Deliverance from all of deliverance from all the torments of temptation. Another big promise right there. Deliverance from all torments of temptation. We won't be tempted anymore. We won't suffer from our temptations anymore. Again, the understanding and compassion and perspective, not compassion, perspective that we get puts us on solid ground when it comes to these things, if we're willing to commit to it. That's another caveat here. You've got to be willing to commit to it, to living a spiritual and right lifestyle based on truth and love and justice. And then the temptation just seems to dissipate. It's pretty incredible. Ineffable joy in conditions and circumstances which formerly caused deep affliction. And I've experienced this one so many times when I was in a situation where I would normally wallow in self-pity or ascend to a point of infuriated and rage. And it's not there anymore. I get into situations where I'm presented with circumstances that would have previously put me in those mindsets, but it's not there anymore. Instead of ineffable joy has filled my life. The growth and understanding that I've been given, and I continue to pursue, and I will continue to have. I know I'm just starting out in this thing. It's a blessing. I can't say that enough. Great patience and sweetness of character, instead of being an impatient, self-centered, selfish asshole that I used to be. I do have patience. I do have kindness and sweetness of character. At least I'd like to think so. I do a lot better with it, really, is what it is at the end of the day. I have more compassion for my fellow human being, and I have more consideration for them and myself. Serenity of mind under all circumstances. We are able to heal and recover from our passions. So we never get pulled off centered. At least that's the goal. That's what I'm striving for. As I have more positive building experiences, the less I get pulled off center. So it's a process for me, but I've improved and I so much leaps and bounds, mountains. And I'm forever grateful for that. And I know that all there is ahead of me is more progress, as long as I stick to living this way of life. Emancipation, which means the freeing from doubt, fear, and anxiety. Now, those were the things I suffered from the most. My own self-imposed doubt, fears, and anxieties. And let me tell you, I've been blessed to have freedom from many of them. They show up every once in a while still, for sure, but I have definitely been blessed with freedom from many. I didn't know I was needed that freedom either. That's the craziest part. I didn't realize that freedom was crucial for me to move forward and grow in my life. And then we have the last line of the main body of this is freedom from dislike, envy, and enmity. Let me look this up, guys. It's Enmity. Enmity. The state of feeling brief. The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. So freedom from dislike, envy, and enmity. That's some powerful stuff right there. My judgments and my insecurities leave me as well. That's incredible. And I've had moments of this too. Like all of these promises I have experienced, some more than others, when I'm spiritually fit, when I'm practicing living spiritually and having that time alone with the God of my understanding and that peace and that serenity in the morning, and I bring that with me throughout the rest of my day, I have a whole different day, right? And I'm much more likely to follow the tenets that are, I don't know if tenets is the right word, but the way of life that's described in these readings. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, and he ends it with this: evil is a state of ignorance, which we kind of covered this whole time. It's just the unknowing. It's the lack of knowledge regarding a certain subject or situation or circumstance, and then acting out of that ignorance. So, which is sin of undeveloped. So, evil is a state of ignorance, of undevelopment, and as such, it recedes and disappears before the light of knowledge. What a powerful image that is. Before the night of knowledge, the darkness of evil dissipates. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. It flees because that was never there. Evil, again, like it started with, is an experience. It's not a force. Darkness does not smother the light. It exists only because the absence of it. So, does evil actually exist? Or is there just the absence of knowledge of the good? I'd like to believe, and I do believe, that's just the absence of the knowledge of the good and understanding. So, all right. Well, we will go ahead. We'll end it there today. Absolutely monumental reading today. Um, Thank you all for joining me. I really, really enjoy being able to jump on here every day and do this. We're almost through July, and that will put us with only 5 months left in the year, guys, and that's pretty substantial for me. So I appreciate everyone jumping on and listening to this, and we'll be back again tomorrow. So until next time, thanks.